caring, you're a nurturer, you're a discerner of spirit, you're a discerner of intent. You are all the things that God defines in the Holy Spirit, because that's what you actually literally got to do to these children to get them where they need to go, because you know more than I do that everybody in that class is not destined to go in the same place and in the same direction, and a B doesn't mean a failure and a C doesn't mean a failure, because that person may be the one who's destined to build the engine for the aircraft and the other one is destined to fly the aircraft, and me, I'll ride first class. So each skill set determines something different. And you must be able to determine that. Just like you know there's one student in class you can cut your eye out and he humble down, and the next one you got to grab the desk, lift it up and break it on Naughty Johnny head and do it twice. And then Naughty Johnny say, oh, okay teacher, I got it, because you understand there's different levels. You are a discerner of spirits. If you as a teacher do not appreciate this element, I'm telling you, even you will abuse it. You operate in so many gifts that I want to invite you during the seminar. Take time, go home, reflect on what you have experienced in your classes, and I guarantee you, you'll find out that you have been walking on a higher plane of spirituality and insight. But because you may not have deliberately embraced it, you have not deliberately followed it. Many of you are gifted. You are, some of you are almost psychic. Come on, tell the truth. Reuben, stop your foolishness. Your back turned. Something dropped. Rex, I know that's you. Reuben, walk in class. You don't do your work yet. Not the first word out of. You operate on a plane. You become a parent of many, because teachers were never meant to replace parent. What you become is an in-house, unique community parent. So you must establish your credibility as to what a teacher is. And a teacher is what a teacher does. Why do I say that? You don't compare each other. His style is unique. Your style is unique. And that one child you can't get through in your class, I bet you somebody else can get to that child. There is no failure in this school. Could we say that? There is no failure in this school. It's only when gifted, anointed people like you fail to operate and respect each other's credibility as professionals. You should supposed to know each other so well that when Reuben played the fool, send him to mini class. He'll come back and appreciate me like a book. And the principal is supposed to understand that we must adapt warfare to the nature of the battle. Colin Powell said this, when there's a storm, you know how they are, all the technology. Colin Powell, when they declare war, had the whole desert storm plan laid out. And you know what Colin Powell says? Here's the whole plan. I say, guess what? In war, when the first shot is fired, guess what happened to the plan? Plan out the window. Because when you prepare to send all your meats jack over this way, and all your Rambos this way, and you know, and then let's roll this way, and let's ball this that way, and then the children go into guerrilla warfare and things, what you do? Still follow the plan? It don't work like that. Y'all come there with all your notes work up and you're walking in the class ready. You know Clint Eastwood? Then you reach in there, you don't know, Naughty Johnny had some experience with that bad-haired aunt over the holiday, and he come there with some new games. You gotta raise your auntie. You must raise your auntie. You gotta wait. See, when you begin to respect each other's core competencies, you'll find out that there's not a loophole in this net called educational system and teachers where a child could fall through. Because there's always somebody there who could hold that one. Network. Network. When you think you stand alone, you will die alone and you will be given account alone. And that is very, very important for you to understand. Establish yourself as a professional and respect that same level of professionalism and credibility to each other. You are a team. You're supposed to understand everybody's strength, everybody's core competency. And you know, you got to learn to give and you got to learn to take. I'm talking about respect here. You got to learn to know how to give respect, how to receive respect, and in the absence of receiving, be respectful anyway for your own sake. You have a duty. If a fellow teacher does not respect you, you know what he is doing, or she is doing? She's exposing herself. When we learn to take this viewpoint, we will be less offended. It's not human, child. We come out alright. We have to go and do that Shakisha or something. It comes out sometimes. God ain't cleanse us, save us that completely yet. But the most of the time, when you get to that point and you realize that respect is something that starts internally. I do in my relationships, even like Carolyn. I love Carolyn for my namesake. See, people that know Carolyn is friends. And I ain't gonna let her die in the desert. Nick say, Reuben, that's your friend, you let die in the desert. So I can kill her home. Because people know that's my friend. So if I talk bad about her, and see, we fail to realize this, I bring me down. Let me bring it deeper. Husband and wives. All of a sudden your wife is a dog. Or something else. Or, you know, the B word for the dog. Okay. How much kids she get for you, Reuben? So what does that make you?
He's a bigger dog.
Did she just become that way? Who ring she wearing? You see why God, with all our bad ways, say, I do this for my name's sake? It's not a selfish thing. You must know when to be selfish, and you must be selfish about your reputation, the reputation of the school, the reputation of your work. You must be selfish about that. And that must be internal. So when everybody act the fool or whatever, you say, hold on, skitch. Not this school. Because when this school go down, whether you think you're the best teacher in the world or not, you burn down. And I don't care where you try to get your politician to try and treat you to someplace else, because this school is being known as the jack-up school of the capital and everything else. Guess what's still on their resume? So sometimes the best thing you can do before you try and throw up, fix your reputation here. It's about respect. You got to give it. And see, it is something that you build. It's hard to build, but it's easy to crumble. Very, very easy. So all of you must be custodians of each other's dignity. And you should actually write it down. You must be custodian of each other's dignity. That's a personal ninyo for me. Ninyo mean way. I consider myself as a man a custodian of feminine dignity. I love women. I will always love women and appreciate women, because as far as I'm concerned, women is the best thing God gave man. It ain't the Toyota, it ain't the Lexus, it ain't whatever else. That's my way. You are to be the custodian of the dignity of your school. You know what that means? You nip things in the bud. The teachers don't, the parents don't come around here yapping around the school. You find out what it is and you nip that in the bud. Don't wait for it to become a hurricane or a whirlwind before you do it. Nip it while it's small, because the reputation of this school is your resume. And it doesn't matter where your school is starting from. The worse the situation is, the better the credit for you when you make it super. The more destroyed and burnt the wall is, the better Nehemiah looked when he rebuilt the wall. Listen in. You are set in a place for a purpose, and you must acknowledge that. Respect. This is very, very important. How many of you ain't behaving? Let me see your hand. Raise your hand. You ain't behaving. And I want you to say, I'm proud.
I'm proud.
How many of you are Bahamians? And say, I'm proud.
I'm proud.
How many of you are a team? I'm proud.
I'm proud.
And I'll make a promise. Let me ever hear you talking and dissing each other with foreign teacher and this and that. That's a Mr. I got you there. That's Mr. Thomas. You understand that? That's even my boy in appropriate setting. That's even my spa. If you're little vexed, that's Macaulay. You understand? That is not a foreign teacher. that is a national hero. You know what a national hero is? Anybody who loves the country that they are in and willing to die for it. Don't care whether you're black, Chinese, Haitian, African, Jamaican, it doesn't matter. It is your loyalty to the place. There are people in the U.S. Army right now who are fighting for the U.S. and dying and getting citizenship posthumously. You know what it means? They're in the grave and the President of the United States say this man died for this country. What happened? Mr. Dave and Thomas gotta die just for you to get to the point to go to his grave and say he's a great teacher? That's foolishness. And vice versa. Where you from? Jamaica, fine. They got a couple of good things. Y'all get mountain, we get one or two. Right? So the thing about it is, love Jamaica, be proud of Jamaica, but Jamaica ain't better than the Bahamas. You know why? You ain't no better than them. You know why? You ain't no better than them. You know why? The most fundamental difference between who you are. Yeah, why you compare yourself with a woman? Appreciate her. You get what I'm saying? Why are you comparing apple and oranges when you can sit down and say, you know something, people are getting a little tired of apple juice and orange juice. Let us come together and make fruit punch. Listen, isn't that a biblical principle? The Bible says in the story of the Tower of Babel, you always look at negative things. The Bible says in the Tower of Babel, it says, these people have come together with one language, one speech, moving in one direction, and God himself said, there is nothing that they imagine. You know what imagine means? You're sitting there thinking SpongeBob, Prayer Pants, Dora the Explorer. That's imagination. That word, whatever stupidness you imagine, there is nothing that you will be. God said that. You're so busy worrying about the differences instead of sitting there and imagining. You remember we used to do it like how Dave get the nice straight hair, the guy say, I want that. So you know what you do? Next thing you see Mangrove eat a fella like me but get hair like Dave. That's a biblical principle. Say, you know what? I want that. I gonna get that. And the only way you can get Dave, especially as a man, you gotta respect him. I bet you, without even knowing him, he can never be around no woman who disrespect him. I'm not even talking intimately, I'm talking even socially or otherwise. He may tolerate you if you're the boss. But Dave, you don't be around a woman who can disrespect you as a man. That's just natural. So to even get that kinky here, you gotta start with respecting Dave. You take it straight at me. You see what I'm saying? So what you did that and make a product. Our dogs around Nassau we criticize. Our potcake dogs are so non-pedigree that they are a new breed. Pedigree. If you don't even realize potcake is pedigree, they're so rare. They're so mixed up that they just a breed unto themselves. So what I'm simply saying is, your differences is your asset because you have differences in students. The Bible teaches saying, some said I'm a Paul, some say I'm a Apollos. He said one plant, one water, but God give the increase. God will give the increase because you have a common goal. There will be persons, you may carry the title, but they don't like you. Because there's always in any organization what they call a formal leader and an informal leader. And I've seen this working with the police for years. The brother with the khaki. Gunshot in Camp Road, let's go! And he reached the car, he looked back. Yeah, I'm going with him, Trent. The little sergeant in the desk. Let's go! He reached the car, looked back, nobody looked forward. People not running ahead of him, but they're ready to go. Why? Because they have more confidence in the sergeant, who always worked there in a sense, than the little so-called khaki, who got a little appointment, and they know he ain't really know, and you think I'm going behind him. You get what I'm saying? So respect has to do also with your credibility. You have those different things. So what I'm simply saying is this. Even as a principal, to control the school as you should, you must know where your informal leaders are. Everybody ain't gonna like you. If they do, run. If they ever come here and all of them bring you something and you look, with that discerning spirit, I know you got that. You know, like Steve Austin, who's the banner guy. And if you don't see at least one of them, he's the flowers. It's poison. It's a bomb. It's a poison apple. Listen, not everybody is gonna like you. And to qualify it more, not everybody's gonna like you all the time. She ain't gonna like you that day. Teach appreciation when God started. But by next appreciation, you look at that, oh, but that's the one who get the rose and this one wax. So all people won't like you at all times, but you still must understand there is a transference. So you must realize, in order to control the herd, you must do like Jesus did. Find 12 wise people you can pump yourself into, because you can't pump yourself into every teacher. Don't get offended when everybody doesn't have full access to the principal or full access to the music teacher. Honestly, I don't know how you do it. But Jesus even had a class in no 30. Jesus found 12 persons. Yes, he had 70 disciples and everything else. But he realized in order to change the world like you're going to change the Bahamas, you must find people who you could pump your soul into. The rest will be there on the periphery, hearing all the other stuff and gleaning it. But you must, at the end of the day, find specialists in your class. So set the benchmark for your success. In every one of your classes, there are specialists. And you can tell them like Beethoven from the birth. You know what? This girl, yabba dabba dooba dabba dooba, that's a drama club or the next politician. This one who up and down all over the place, teacher, one run the errand all up on campus, well, may be the next golden boy. That fellow who lie good, that would be the next lawyer. Parliament for, I didn't say no constituency. You get what I'm saying? And so what? You must discern the gifts and be able to know how to channel it. Maybe it may not be for you to see the fruit of that gift, but you can plant the seed in that gift. Planting the seed in the gift means that that child may fail your algebra. But that child got the necessary boost to put him in Mr. Thomas' class that will open up that package that you kept alive. How do you gauge your success? I don't want to sound contrary to binge education, or I believe we really need to get the act together. I know how in the heavens we can get a grading system in the first place, which we don't understand. Does anybody ever take the chance to tell the student, okay, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, let's go to G now. A G means this. You better be saying me, because I'm going to go there. Do they do that? Do they help the children understand? You know, back from when we go up, we know it A men, B men, C men, and D men. I knew that. But God is good. God is good. God is good. But do the children understand? Because a lot of them are being destroyed because of lack of knowledge and understanding of these same grading systems, that some of which they think is so bad, but may not necessarily be what it appears to be. Does the parents even understand? So you know what's happening? Because of the inefficiencies of dissemination of information, because credibility haven't been established, credibility of the grading system, people don't understand it, you're being gauged for failures that may not actually be really what it actually is. Now, I ain't any business, y'all let me know if I somewhere warm or cold or hot, I don't know. But somewhere along the line, it ain't exactly as they are putting it. And today our country, after what, 8 years of this, 10 years of this, don't know what the grading system really means. Alright? So, you need to establish yourself as credibility and try this with me again. Have you ever done that with your children? The first day of class, sit there, help them to understand you as a teacher, who you are as a teacher. Not no cross the board thing and cut your tail and do this another Robocop thing and this is what the teacher is and all that stuff. Who you are as a teacher, because you know why that's important? When that child is in crisis, he's looking for somebody, not a something. That's why some of you're like children magnets. You try to run and you can't duck them. Because the children saw your spirit, and you know hog know where to rub the skin. What do you think of children? And in their time of need, guess who they come to? They come to you. You're gonna have conflict, and I would hope we could probably take advantage of this. Let's practice taking aim at the problem and the situation, and not the personality. What's your last name? Saunders. Man, Miss Saunders, take this thing off, because this ain't We don't want that in school, you hear me? We don't want that in school. What did I just do? You see, if the problem was this headpiece, why did I just make that personal? Teachers are assassins. You heard about espionage and counter-espionage. So when you send your spy, I can send mine too. So when the devil comes to seek, steal, and destroy, I can send a couple of teachers to to seek, steal, and destroy from them. Teeth back with his eyes and kill a couple of them demons. No, you need to do that, because why? You must realize that children are as sensitive even as you are. Let me see if I can help you understand. Do you know the power of a name? You know how powerful that is? You hear me use the word quintessence? That means the most potent essence, the most concentrated form of something. That becomes you. So much so you heard me say things like helping people to see what they're looking at. Queen Elizabeth walking, your attitude will change. You know why? Because when you see her, you know what you're looking at. If she went to a place with them little picnics run around, who never had seen them, and a thing in the nose and no drawers on, and run around the bush, and Queen Elizabeth walking there, what they gonna do to her? Show and span and roast her, they got roast royalty. Who did the white woman is? You know why? Because they don't know what they look. Ponce de Leon walk up in the Yucatan Peninsula. You know what that means? I don't know what it means. You know, the word Yucatan. And walking there because they saw a blue-eyed man with a breastplate and armor must be gods. You see the problems when you don't see what you're looking at? Let me see.